Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, I thought I would do a little bit of a Q&A. These are questions that kind of came up as part of an exercise that I'm doing in my coaching program, but I thought it would be beneficial to answer them for my YouTube audience, for you guys to get to know a little more about me and my story, and hopefully what I share resonates with you and you can get something out of this, okay? So, let's begin. The first question is, what's your name and what is your business called? So, my name is Nee, and my business is called Unified Healing. Second question, what were you doing before becoming a coach? So before becoming a coach, but becoming a healer, I worked in the corporate world. I actually went to school to study information technology. So after college, like I started working at a consulting firm. We did a lot of actuarial services, like really dry work. And I was there for a while and didn't really like it, but didn't really see a way out of it. And it kind of showed because I was not the best employee at any given job that I had, and my jobs would typically only last about 18 months before I felt like I needed to move on to something else. Um, so, so that cycle actually continued for about 14 years, and um, and I finally hit the point where I was like, I don't really want to be doing this anymore. My last contract actually ended right before lockdown. So during that time, I had a lot of time to really work on myself and develop my spiritual gifts, overcome my traumas and my limitations, and really step into this role as a healer, as a guide, as a mentor, as a coach. That's in a nutshell. That's kind of what happened there. Um, okay, next question is, what is the pivotal moment that made you realize you wanted to be a coach? So I think at a certain point, I really decided that I didn't want to go back to the corporate world. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't aligned. And at that point, I'd done so much work on myself that I was starting to really be able to like guide and coach other people in their processes. So, like for me, I did a lot of inner child healing. When people started becoming a little bit more upfront about their childhoods and their situations, I was able to really help guide and coach them along in their healing process. I also got really into spirituality, and I didn't realize this, but the level of spirituality that I had access to was actually like a little bit more than what people around me had access to. So, um, I was able to guide and coach them in spiritual work as well, and just being able to navigate their awakening journeys. So that's been really pivotal for me. I really had all these ideas about like how I wanted to help people and serve people, and how I wanted my healing practice to look, what I wanted to offer, but I didn't really have an idea of how to get there until I joined a coaching program and really learned how to be a coach and like tie all these things together from a business perspective. All right, next question. Have you ever had a major failure or low point that later became a turning point? So for me, it all had to do with relationships, and this is how my awakening journey started. I had some really negative patterns in relationships. I would always go after the wrong girls or like the girls who were emotionally unavailable, and kind of really fixate on them. And then it would turn into this huge mess, and it would just be the cycle that just kept ending in a lot of heartbreak and rejection and just like a lot of miscommunication and all these things, right? I was actually in therapy to address these issues and figure out what exactly was going on when the same pattern happened like all over again. So this time, like I was actually speaking to a therapist as this was going down. That was right before lockdown. So during lockdown, I was stuck with this event that happened, and I had a lot of time to really examine it and process it and come to peace with it, so that I could move on from that and start doing deeper levels of work. What I realized is all those patterns, these repeating patterns in relationships, are all related to traumas that you faced in childhood that carry over into adult life. And for me, that was a really pivotal moment in understanding the healing journey and understanding how these childhood patterns play into your adult life. So I just did a lot of really deep work. And that led me to a lot of really profound understandings. I really leaned into doing the healing work. So I did a lot of like the inner child work. I basically taught myself psychology at a certain point. I worked with a lot of plant medicine as well. I also started working again with that same therapist. So so it's a combination of all these things like working together to help me heal and grow. When I did this level of work, everything started opening up for me spiritually. When I was in lockdown, the only reference that I had really was YouTube. So as I started doing the work, the messages on YouTube like shifted. So I got all kinds of insights and downloads. Literally, anytime I had a question to ask, a YouTube video would come up and answer the question. If I had any questions about where do I go next or what should I work on, the right video would come up, the right meditation would show up. And it happened so regularly and so consistently that it basically left like no room to question anything. It was just profound. And at a certain point, I just gave into it and I'm like, okay, what do I need to see now? What do I need to focus on now? Show me something. And that's basically what happened. You know, my guides, if you want to believe in the guides, basically shot these messages to me through the YouTube algorithm, and it was exactly what I needed at the time. So it was really a beautiful process. Next question: what personal experiences shaped uh, the way you coach and run a healing business today? Well, I would have to say my entire life, really. Everything that I experienced as a child, all the healing that I've done as an adult, all the spiritual work that I've done, it all combines into making me the coach and healer that I am today. I would say also working with like really talented people. My mentor that I worked with as I was learning to work with plant medicine was really great. He taught me basically just to trust the process. Don't really think too much about what you need to do. Just do it, and trust your intuition. And that's been probably the best advice that I've gotten in the spiritual journey is just to trust. That's kind of what I do when I'm in healing sessions or I'm working with clients. I try to remove my thought mind out of the equation and just flow with whatever the people are whatever information the people when my clients are giving me and however the energy wants to flow through me for their healing. And so far so good, no complaints. Really, everyone's had amazing shifts and really positive results from that. Okay, what is something about your journey that most people don't know? I may have already touched on this, but I think it is really about the massive amounts of synchronicities that showed up when I actually started to do the work and heal. Just the amount of help that came in from unseen sources that kind of helped me to heal and learn and activate my gifts and abilities. That's something that I haven't really shared too much with people. Also, as I was healing, I also worked extensively with mushroom medicine, and that was another component that I used to complement the therapy and the deep work that I was doing to really supercharge my healing process. The next question is, who do you help, and what struggles do they face? Okay. Who do I help? I help anyone who really needs my services for healing. I've noticed that the people that I really like to work with are people who are on an awakening journey. They start piecing some things together. They understand a few things, but they have a lot of questions and they have goals. You know, they want to activate their spiritual gifts. They want to maybe open their third eye. That usually comes up a lot. Like, "Oh, I want to open my third eye and see stuff." There's also people who want to step into their purpose. They want to figure out what they're really here to do on this planet, how they fit into the whole grand scheme of things. So that's one type of person that I work with. The other one is spiritual and conscious entrepreneurs. And the reason being is once you start waking up, you realize that you can't really work in a 9 to 5 anymore. You can't work in an office. A lot of people realize that and they start going into business for themselves. So a lot of my clients are also entrepreneurs because you realize at a certain point that your skills are super valuable and you want to make an impact and a difference in the world. And the only way to do that is to get out of the rat race, get out of the maze, get out of the corporate structure that really is designed to keep people stuck where they are. Once people break out of that, then sometimes they find me then because they want to heal, they want to expand, they want to also step into the next phase of their evolution. Let's see, what struggles do most people face? Well, a lot of times people come in when they're stuck. And they're stuck because they have underlying patterns, these recursive patterns in their lifetime that they can't really seem to shake. And these patterns are usually caused by some unresolved traumas from either past relationships or childhood, things like that, that they can't really get to. So they know that they're being blocked from like love or abundance or their purpose, but they can't really figure out exactly what's going on and how they're blocked. So my job is to come in and help them heal, really help them understand these blocks, these core wounds, and help them heal at that core level so that they can have whatever they want in this life, right? Because I feel like everyone deserves that. Everyone deserves to be happy. They deserve to be fulfilled. They deserve to be passionate about what they do. Yeah, and they deserve to be in their purpose and passionate about what they do. Basically, be in joy. That's what I help them with. Next question. If you could sum up your mission in one sentence, what would it be? I help spiritual seekers and conscious entrepreneurs supercharge their awakening journeys by healing at a core level so that they can fully step into their purpose and achieve the life that they want. Next question. How does your practice help people? I help people heal at an emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual level. So there's those four components to healing, and I try to look at it from a holistic perspective. So people have certain issues in their life. It's going to affect all different areas of their life. I help people identify and heal these core wounds that could be coming from anywhere. It could be coming from past relationships, childhood. It could also be like past life stuff that they're bringing over to this lifetime. So I help identify and heal all those things at a core level so people can shift, they can change. And I've seen people go from these huge transformations of being kind of like stuck in patterns of fear and self-doubt and low self-worth. Just a lot of like really negative patterns. And I see them go into states of peace and empowerment. That's usually the first thing I see is people have a sense of peace. And then they can start working on these other things in their life because they're not tensed up. They're not trying to live in this fight or flight response mode anymore. Once we take care of that, we can do the deeper work. We can get to the underlying causes of like the other things that are going on in their lives and then heal at a core level. I've seen people make huge shifts that way. So any specific success stories? There's actually like quite a few. One of my latest clients was struggling with a lot of spiritual overwhelm, basically. He had gone down a bit of a negative path in his spirituality. He had gone down a bit of a negative path in his spiritual evolution, which led him to basically contact a lot of dark entities and had to suffer through a bit of torture and torment and a lot of misinformation and have his life kind of fall apart. So I did a lot more energetic and spiritual work to get him to a place of peace, to get him to a place of relax, to get him to have an ability to really trust himself, not to fall into the negative patterns again, and then showed him a different way to access the spiritual realm. The one that doesn't involve working with negative entities anymore and actually involves connecting to the light, connecting to archangels and ascended masters and things that are really here to help humanity rather than these negative lower vibe forces that are kind of here to trick people, right? Um, and outside of like people who are dealing with like really intense spiritual attacks and trauma, things like that, I just really help people like resolve their blocks, their traumas, all the things that are stopping them from just being happy. Another one of my clients, for example, is a housewife, and she basically had a lot of questions about the spiritual path. Got really overwhelmed with like what's out there, how to navigate all those things, and was really in a cycle of just watching things collapse getting sucked into the news cycle and all the negative vibrations associated with the news. I helped her shake out of those patterns and become more present in her day-to-day life so she could be there for her kids and her husband. And that alone created space for much deeper work, much deeper shifts, and more activations and things of that nature. So it really depends on the client and what they need. That's how I work. Each client is different. They have different needs. They have different goals. I'm here to help you achieve your goals. Next question. What makes your coaching unique compared to others in your field? Okay. Um, well, I think every coach, every spiritual mentor, every coach, every healer is different because we all had different experiences that kind of gave us the insights and perspectives to do the work that we do. What makes me a little bit different is I have a combination of a bunch of different modalities. For example, I'm a Reiki master. I can do that level of energy work. I can also train other people in Reiki. I work with vocal crystals, and that's a way to really channel that energy into into laser focus for really efficient healing. I'm also an Akashic reader, so I can guide people into an Akashic journey to unlock past life memories and do healing at that level. I also do quantum hypnosis, which is similar, and that's another way to guide people into releasing and healing old trauma patterns that are keeping them stuck in the same cycles. I'm also a channel and an intuitive guide. In any one of these sessions, I may get guidance from people's guides and higher selves as to what's going to help them in their journey. So I do that. I also do light language, and that is a way to speak directly to the soul and offer a healing at a soul level through this language of light, basically. If you guys want to research any of those things, feel free. I'll be happy to answer any questions you all have. Why should someone choose me over any other coach or a healer? Well, it's really a personal choice, right? I believe that everyone has people that they're contracted to work with in in this lifetime, and and you'll know because when you meet those people, you'll resonate with them and you'll feel a call to work with those people. And that's usually how I find my clients. I just tell them a little bit about what I do, and they're like, "Oh, I need that in my life, and I want to work with you." So it's kind of like it's kind of a soul agreement that we have when we come in here to work with certain people for a certain amount of time, and that's what I'm fulfilling by being a coach, right? And everyone has the option to work with whoever they want to work with. Yeah, you know, that's part of that's part of the contract. I try to offer as much as I can based on my expertise and my experience, but there may be other coaches, other healers that can offer other levels of healing. For example, my healing is very based on healing and transforming at a core level. But people may need to work with someone else for more help in their day-to-day life. You know, so it's a combination of all these teachers and mentors and guides that are going to help each individual on their overall journey, right? So it's not about me trying to be a coach and saying, "Hey, I have all the answers." I, will provide what I can provide to the best of my ability, and then that'll then when our time is done, then my clients will find someone else to work with to get them to the next phase of wherever they need to be. Next question, what makes your coaching and healing unique compared to others in your field? I take a very holistic approach to it. I offer a variety of modalities. For example, I'm a Reiki master, an energy healer. I work with vocal crystals that are. I work with vocal crystals that kind of redirect the energy into a focus point. They're very effective for healing. I also do quantum hypnosis. I also do Akashic records readings and healings. I also channel and I also do light language. And all these tools and modalities I bring together to offer the highest level of healing that I can offer. My goal is to help people heal at a very core level so that they're not blocked by these limitations that have been put on them from either childhood or birth or even from before that. I want people to heal mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All of those are necessary components in the overall healing process. And I think in a lot of Western medicine, they don't really factor in the emotional or the spiritual parts of that healing. So that's my focus is to incorporate all those things together. So I approach things from a spiritual level, but I also offer practical guidance for people's day-to-day lives. So I combine the ancient techniques, including including shamanistic practices and all the modalities that I mentioned, as well as practical life coaching. And those are practical solutions for your day-to-day life. So, and the combination of all those things, I feel, is a really important in people's healing and transformational journeys and their awakening. Why should someone choose me over another coach? Well, everyone has a right to choose whatever coach they would like to help them. Like I said, I am a energy healer, channel, a guide, and a spiritual mentor. So that's the area that I focus in, and I focus on a very deep core work. And that is pivotal for people who want to break out of patterns they've been stuck in for most of their lives. You know, now I believe that everyone is contracted to work with specific people. So if you see me and resonate with my energy and want to work with me, then that's meant to be, right? That's something that our higher selves set up for each other, right? So that I can help you heal. I mean, maybe different for other people. Like maybe some people are not called to work with me; they're called to work with another healer. That's okay. It's not so much about me. It's about what I can do to help my clients heal. So there's plenty to go around, in my opinion. I firmly believe that the right people will find me when they're ready to heal and they're ready to transform and they're ready to make these changes in their lives. Okay. Next question. Tell me about a time when you faced a major challenge in your coaching journey. So, there's been plenty of times. The coaching journey isn't paved with gold, really. There's a lot of things you have to learn. There's a lot of things you have to overcome. A lot of things you have to learn about yourself. There's so many different facets of it. There's the actually dealing with the clients. But then there's managing a business, setting yourself up as an entrepreneur, which is a big ask for a lot of people. It's a big step. A lot of people are stuck in their box way of thinking. If they've been stuck in a corporate world or worked a 9 to 5 for most of their lives, you have to take full accountability now as an entrepreneur. No one's gonna There's no performance plan. There's no 401k. There's none of that stuff. It's basically you're responsible for the state of your business. A lot of these challenges come up. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? Next question. What was one of the hardest decisions you had to make as a coach or a healer or a practitioner? It's really, I think I think some of the hardest decisions always come from cutting people out of your energy field. Because at the end of the day, I know how to run my business, just like you know how to run your business, how you know how to run your life at the end of the day. So when people like butt in a little bit and they have solutions for you that you know aren't really going to work, then sometimes you have to put your foot down and say, no, I'm not doing that. For me, it was switching over to YouTube from another platform because that platform just wasn't aligned to my core values and beliefs and where I wanted to go and who I wanted to reach. So sometimes you have to make these big shifts once you realize that the things that you're doing, the path that you're going down, isn't really going to work for you. Another part of this question was, did you ever have to take a big risk, invest in yourself, or change your business model? So I talked about changing my business model. The big risk investing in myself was joining this coaching program. It was a big investment, and I really had to think about it for a while. I had to spend like a day or two considering it. Is this really right for me? Is this going to help me? And everything pointed to yes. All my intuition, all my guides, when I tapped in, they're like, yes, do it. Don't even think about it. Do it. This is for you. And it's the best decision I ever made because I realized that like I would not be able to do half this stuff had I tried to do this on my own. Had I just relied on YouTube videos and e-booklets and books here and there, there's no way I would have been able to implement this stuff, hold myself accountable, or get where I am now as quickly as I did. Next question: what mistakes or failures have shaped your success? Have I ever launched anything that flopped? Yes, I've had a lot of false starts in my career and in my awakening journey. Well, my main issue is that I tried to work with people who were not as capable as I thought they were. So when I started first trying to start my healing practice, I was trying to work with someone who had about 25 years experience as a healer. So I thought this person understands stuff and knows what they're doing. As I started to work with them a little bit more, I realized that we're not really in alignment, and that they have a lot of stuff that they need to work through, and it's not in my best interest to pursue that business relationship. So that was kind of a setback for me because I did want to progress, but it wasn't the right way to do it. What I learned from that was really to believe in myself, right? I put a lot of effort and a lot of energy into another person, expecting them to be able to carry me where I needed to go. And at the end of the day, that's not going to work. We're all here to be sovereign co-creators in our experience. That means being independent, doing things for ourselves as much as we can, and then collaborating with other people for the rest. But in order to get there, we have to be fully capable and fully independent on our own, right? Next question. What is a piece of advice you give to your clients all the time, but struggle to apply to yourself at first? The biggest piece of advice, and this is what all my clients realize at a certain point in their healing space, is that everything's going to be okay. The universe has a plan, and it's a divine plan, and it's bigger than any of us can really ever understand. And we just have to trust it. We're not here to really know it or understand it. We're just here to trust that it's going to work out the way it's meant to work out, and that's perfect. So once you let go of this need to control, this need to be right, you need to be perfect about things and just let things be. Just let yourself be, and just go with it. Just go with the flow. Just go trust in the divine. Everything works out. Yeah, and that's the biggest piece of advice I could give to my clients. It's also something that I struggle with at first. Next question. What are the three most important values that guide your business and why? Okay. I think for me, it's authenticity. I like to be very upfront about my story and sharing everything that I have experienced in my life, in my healing journey, because I know that it'll help other people. And it's important to share those things and be vulnerable with these things. And I do that openly because, one, because I've healed from these things already. They're not in my field anymore. So I feel comfortable sharing these things like childhood traumas and past failed relationships and all that other stuff, because a lot of my clients are going through similar things. And when they're going through them, they feel like they're completely alone. And them knowing that I had gone through it myself and to see where I am in my healing journey gives them hope. And hope is what it takes to push through some of these really hard times. So I'm happy to do that. So that's the first one, is authenticity. Um, the other one is non-judgment. A lot of my clients, a lot of people in general on a healing journey are afraid of really opening up because they're afraid of being judged. Maybe they had like crazy childhood patterns in the past, or they've been bullied, or they've had toxic relationships where they're never really good enough. So there's a sense of this imposter syndrome. There's a sense of like not really belonging or not really being good enough. And it all comes from this sense of judgment, right? So when I work with my clients, I try to create a space where it's safe and it's judgment free. So we create a place where you can fully express, fully open up, so that we can really heal. The third one I would say is trust, right? I do everything I can to establish myself as trustworthy, because the way that the energy works is it's all really dependent on how much you trust your practitioner, right? So if you're resisting and holding back, then you're not going to really be able to get to the core issues that are holding you back, and we're not really going to be able to heal. So for me, it's really about creating that bond of trust that I'm here to help my clients heal. And that's my main focus, right? And that's really a value that helps me towards helping my clients. Okay. Next question. What's one lesson you wish every client could understand? Um, well, I would say that you're not alone. That the things that you're facing are yeah, the things that you're facing right now are they're temporary, and you have everything you need within you to get through those things. And what I'm doing is I'm just helping you like pull away all these layers of negative patterns and beliefs and all this stuff that makes you think that you're less than, or that you're incapable, or that you can't do this, any of those things. I help pull those away, so you can really flourish really spread your wings. It's all within you. It always has been. It's just life comes around and throws all these layers of negative patterns and false beliefs on you to make you think that you're not good enough. And I'm here to pull those away so you can really know your true self as this amazing being. Next question: where do you see yourself and your healing business in the next 5 to 10 years? Okay, what's the big vision the big vision is I want to scale up and I want to help as many people as I possibly can. And I want to be able to create groups and communities and work with people who have healed and maybe want to contribute, maybe want to collaborate on things so that we can reach more people and help more people. I want to be able to work with some underprivileged communities as well, like maybe offer some healing services to them so it's more accessible to people. Next question is, what is a hard truth you have to accept on your journey? Um, Nothing happens overnight is the biggest thing. It's everything takes time. I was expecting I'm going to start a business and then I'm going to have clients out the door like immediately, and it doesn't work like that. It takes time to build up. Things happen like very gradually, and you don't see the results right away most of the time. So a lot of it takes some patience, some planning, and decisiveness, right? So you have to also look at things that are working, things that aren't working. You have to think of where you're putting your time and energy and kind of reallocate constantly, right? So that's one of the things I've had to learn. And what's one that changed everything for you? Um, well, what changed the things for me is it's really my own business, it's my own journey. And ultimately, I have full accountability of that. So if people are pushing me in a direction I don't want to go in, I have the right to just say, no, I'm not doing that and do my own thing. Maybe that'll work out, maybe it won't. But at the end of the day, it's a learning lesson for me, right? Next question. What's your go-to way of explaining complex ideas simply? Well, I've heard that if you can't explain a complex concept to a 5-year-old, you're not doing it right. So I try to take these concepts and really break them down into ways that even a child can understand. So a lot of times there's analogies, metaphors. Yeah, I could even tell a story with it, like a little parable or something like that. Are there any words, phrases, or stylistic choices you tend to use in your content? Um, well, I do dabble. I do play back and forth between mysticism and practicality. So at sometimes I'll talk about soul contracts and ascension and the awakening and things like that, New Age topics and really New Age ways of looking at things. But other times, like I'll bring it right back down into psychological concepts, right? Like childhood trauma and the attachment styles that form from them, and the different cognitive behavioral things that are going on from more of like a psychological perspective. So and at certain times, they'll say, we got to take all the spirituality away from this stuff and look at it at a very human level, right? Because some of these things that we're trying to fix, you don't need an esoteric understanding of it. You just need to be able to have a grounded, practical approach to solve it. Yeah. All right. Next question. What types of content feels more fun and effortless for you to create? If I just get in front of a camera and start talking about spirituality, or if I start talking about a specific topic that I have knowledge on, but I didn't know I had the knowledge on, then like all the words come out, all the knowledge comes out, all these things and all these quirks, they all come out and it just flows. I like talking about the esoteric and spiritual viewpoint on things, but then I also like to bring things back again into a grounded, practical approach. So it brings it back into things that people can actually use and implement in their day-to-day lives. I love sharing personal stories as well with my audience because I think that brings a level of relatedness to what I do, right? Because my story shaped the healing that I offer today. And I feel like that would resonate with people who are going through similar issues and who feel like they're alone. They know that I've been through it, I'm come out on the other side, and there is hope. So I'd gladly share any personal stories or anecdotes that I have that could help people just not feel like they're alone in this journey. That wraps up the Q&A section of of this video today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me, learning a little bit about my coaching and healing business, what I offer, my style, how I can help you. Yeah. So if any of this resonated with you and you'd like to book a service with me, I do quantum hypnosis, I do Akashic Records, I do Reiki energetic healing, work with Vogel crystals, I'm a channel, I do light language. I probably left something out, it'll come out later. But yeah, I offer all these modalities to help you in your healing journey. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one for some much deeper work and healing and transforming at a core level, I do offer a coaching program, and there are a few seats left for that. Links are in the description below if you're really ready to take that level of transformation on. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, help your brother out with the algorithm, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.